Okay, so I'm going to go over the planning sheet for designing your own Rube Goldberg machine. The first thing you want to do is figure out what task will this device perform, and it needs to be something really, really simple. So we decided that our machine will knock over a house of cards. So something that it doesn't take a lot of force to knock over, and it was something very, very simple. So this is our plan here, and we just used items that we had around the classroom that could either be stood up and knocked over or things that can roll. So we have a tennis ball, some dominoes, some hardcover books, and a deck of cards. So our original plan, and you will find out later that this plan changed a little bit, but our original plan was to have the tennis ball to roll down a ruler, knock into some dominoes, and then the dominoes we're going to knock into some books, and then the books we're going to knock into a house of cards. And you want to have 2 to 3 energy transfers or events in your machine. If you want to put in more, that's awesome, but I would suggest trying for at least 2, and then you can always add to your machine later. So our first event is that the tennis ball knocks over the dominoes. That's 1 transfer of energy there. The second one would be the dominoes knocking down the books. That's our second transfer of energy. And then our third event or transfer of energy would be that the books are to knock down the house of cards. And because this is a diagram, I've labeled everything too, so my diagram will make sense to anybody looking at it. Just make sure that wasn't a fluke. All right, tennis ball test 2. Not as straight.
It hit the marker.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so that's got a...
So I think even if we tape it at
up at the top. Yep. Okay, test 3. Okay, test 5. Woo!
Yes!
Okay, so for our machine, what should happen is the tennis ball should go down the ramp, knock into the books, and then the books should knock into each other and hit the dominoes. The dominoes should knock into each other and hit the box of crayons. The box of crayons should hit the ruler should go up, and then it should knock over our house of cards. So let's see what happens. We will try that again. Yay! Yes! It worked! So now that you've seen how our machine actually looked and worked, you'll notice that we had to make some changes from our plan, and that's okay. You might have to make 1 or 2 changes. You might have to make a lot of changes. When Ms. Shep and I were experimenting, we noticed that the dominoes weren't heavy enough to knock over the books. So we kind of switched those around, and then we added the box of crayons and the ruler because we didn't have to be as careful with our aiming of the dominoes when we did that, and we thought it looked pretty cool. So we figured, why not? You might find that your machine looks a lot different from your plan. You may find that your plan works perfectly and you don't have to make any changes. Either way is fine. But know that you might have to try a couple of different ways and a couple of different times, and that's totally normal.